Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Turnaround Coach, the place where you can find those small pieces of information that'll help you in transforming your business. Whether you're in fear of failure or you just feel as if you're stuck, this is going to take you to that next level because nobody starts their business to just be average. We all want to be thriving for excellence. And with these little pieces of information, hopefully I am helping you get on that path. Having said that, this week we have another great tip to discuss during our time together. And this one really resonates with me because I remember when I took over each of the schools that I worked with, knowing that these were places that had such an impact, right? Potentially, anyway. We were working with children. We were working in communities that believed in the school system in order to help them have a better life. And when I went in with a vision. My vision was that we could make these some of the top schools in the whole area if we were all aligned and if we were moving in the right direction. Now, can I open my soul and share my vision with everyone in a manner that they're going to completely believe in my mission? That's the goal, right? But it takes some work to get there. And one of the things that we need to really make sure when we're doing these turnarounds, when we're transforming our organizations, it's not just the leader that has the vision. It's not just the leader that understands the problems. You get where I'm going with this? We need to have our staff understand and feel the problems as well. Let me tell you what I encountered at the last school that I came in to do a turnaround with. I had been hired in May of the previous school year, right around Mother's Day, so probably toward the beginning-ish of May. And while I was here in Houston, because I was flying back and forth from Des Moines, I was able to stay a few extra days to spend Mother's Day with my daughter, who had already come back to Houston. And so I asked if I could come in, meet the current principal, because I wanted to get a feel, right, for everything, and then just observe. And I framed it to where I just wanted to learn what was happening. That principal already knew she was leaving. So I just want to learn so that I can start making plans, not to degrade anyone or make anyone feel bad. And the district allowed me to do so. So I came in on the Monday after Mother's Day, and I just spent a little bit of time with the current principal, and then I just wandered the school. I met some of the staff, I met some of the students, I saw the cafeteria. You can see kind of where I'm going with this, right? And when I got on the flight later that day and I started thinking through my plans and kind of wrapping up what my thought process was for that, because I knew I was coming back right at the end of June and getting started July 1st, right? So I was having to wrap up a school year in one district and already get started in this other district. And I knew that I was going to have to do some hiring and some, I don't want to say the word firing, but maybe some reorganization a little bit. And on that day, one of the great things I was able to do is sit down with the leadership team that was currently in place and ask them what they thought was going on with the school. And all they could tell me was that it was bad. And I would try to dig deeper and I'd say, okay, so what makes it bad? What are you seeing or feeling that makes it bad? Oh, I don't know. Everything is bad. And I could tell very quickly that there was this sense of frustration. And I could tell that they saw the problems from here. They were living them from here, but they weren't making a connection here, if that makes any sense. Everything is bad. I'm in the thick of it, living it, right? But what actually is causing bad? So when I got my assistant principal hired and we got started working on our plan in the summer for coming in, one of the first things that we knew we had to do was create this sense of urgency with hope, if that makes sense. We needed them to understand, yes, there is a problem. Here it is, and we can fix it. Because part of the problem was the climate and culture. And those staff members were part of that problematic climate and culture. So we needed them to really get a sense of what the specific problems were. And they needed to feel it, not feel it from, I'm in the thick of it and I'm frustrated, and not from everything's a mess and everybody's got a problem. But we needed them to feel the specifics. We worked through bringing some TED Talks in, some YouTube videos in. We worked through doing some surveys. We were able to have some roundtables with different groups. We did some reorganization, as I mentioned. We were able to start looking at mentorships, and everybody got a mentor, right? We structured it to where everybody got a buddy, everybody got a partner, so that everyone felt supported. Everyone could start to feel comfortable enough to really start thinking through the details. But on the forefront of it all, we needed them to see that they were part of the problem, if that makes any kind of sense. And we needed to do that in a supportive, positive way. So, having said that, here are a couple of things that I want you to think about when you are making your transformation. You cannot be the only person that feels the problem. Do what it takes to get people to understand what the specific problems are. Use your surveys, use your conversations, use your client feedback, your customer feedback, use your data from sales, use quantifiable data to help get your people to realize we are in this together. We need to feel this together. It's not just a leader problem. It is an organization problem. The second thing you have to do is you have to do that with the best support, the best way of still instilling hope in your staff. And that is tricky because there's a problem and we're all part of the problem, but we can't take it personal. It can't be a finger pointing. This happened because Sherry did or didn't do this. That's not what this is about. You're looking at your big ticket items. You're looking at your levers, the big levers that are going to move you forward. And if that happens to be a specific person, then you as the leader, you have to take care of that piece. However, most of the time, it's going to be the organization as a whole needs to make some change. And the only way we get on board 100% with change and feel the sense of urgency is understanding we have a problem without feeling like we're being blamed. Okay, so that's my tip number 2. And then tip number 3, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Once you have the problem identified, everybody understands it. Everybody agrees that's where the problem is. You have plans to move forward and you start to implement. You have to celebrate every small win. Even so minute as somebody showed up on time, if that's part of the problem, right? You want to find the smallest things and make them as personal as you can to keep your people on board, to keep building your climate and culture in a way that shows that you appreciate and support your people while still holding everyone accountable for the work that they need to do. And we talked about accountability a few weeks back. We talked about building relationships and really supporting our people and empowering our people to do the hard work. But this becomes a little bit different because now you're pushing them. And so we have to really make sure that they feel just as much support when we are pushing them as they feel when we're in a great state and we're already meeting all of our goals, right? So just to recap, 3 big things. make sure that everybody understands what the problems are and realize that we're in it as an organization. We need to make sure that people feel supported and they're in an environment where they feel they can make a change with you. And then we need to make sure that we're developing great plans and celebrating all of those small wins. All right, guys, that is this week's session. Hopefully, as I mentioned at the beginning, you're getting little nuggets of information to help you on your journey. But I always want to say, I am here if you need more support. I have various levels of support that I can provide for you, various cost points, tailored toward your needs. And that's what's most phenomenal about this. Just finished an all-day session with one of my clients, and we got so much accomplished today. And now we're ready to go into that action planning step for tomorrow. So things are moving for her, and they could be moving for you. You just need to reach out and let's get a call scheduled so we can see how we can start working together in the future. All right, guys, I'm Sherry Dixon, your turnaround coach, and I will see you back here next week. Have a great week.